Ciao ragazzi, this is Talk Calcio TV on YouTube. Ciao tutti, welcome to this episode of Talk Calcio TV. As you know, tomorrow night is the Coppa Italia Final between Juventus, the Bianconeri, and AC Milan, the Rossoneri. Now Juventus have got the Scudetto wrapped up, the 34th in their history, 7 in a row may I add, history there. AC Milan are currently fighting for Europa League qualification. Now if they were to win the Coppa Italia, they would then qualify for Europe regardless of where they finish in the league. Not that Rino Gattuso is going to let standards to drop, of course. In this episode we're going to give you a bit of a brief history lesson on the Coppa Italia, the competition itself, going back to 1922. Before we do though, just before we started filming, you've probably seen it on various sports channels tonight, bit of breaking news, or is it a worst kept secret? Massimo Allegri is high on Arsenal's wish list to replace Arsene Wenger, along with ex-Barcelona and Roma man Luis Enrique. Now the statement from Juventus said they are going to discuss Massimo Allegri's future. However, they then said they would not stand in his way if his wish was to seek a new challenge. So make what you will out of that one. But here we go, here's the history on the competition itself, that is the Coppa Italia. The first Coppa Italia competition took place in 1922. It was only contested by the minor teams as the bigger ones had left the FIGC to form their own private league. The final was between Vado and Udinese, and it was Vado who were the first ever winners of the Coppa Italia. The Coppa Italia has been contested 70 times, but we've only had 69 winners. Now to start with, it was every 4 years. In the second edition of the 1926 to 1927 season, it was cancelled in the round of the last 16. It would not resume until the 1935-1936 season. In the 1942 to 1943 season, it was abandoned due to the outbreak of World War II. The competition resumed then in 1958, and ever since the Coppa Italia has been contested on an annual basis. Now the Coppa Italia is very different to the FA Cup that we have in England. You all know with the FA Cup, you get the non-league and semi-professional teams. They go through the preliminary qualifying rounds. They are then joined in the first and the second round. When it comes to the third round, the Premier League and the Championship clubs draw. And you can get, for example, Manchester United going to the likes of Juve or Exeter away. Well, the Coppa Italia is very different. It starts with the Serie C and the Serie D clubs. Serie B clubs then join the round after. The bottom half of the Italian clubs, they then join in the third round. And it's not until the last 16 that the top half of the Serie A clubs then join the competition. So you've got no chance of a David versus Goliath tie. You won't see Juventus go into a non-league club or a Serie D club. That's very rare to happen. Now over the years there have been some alterations to the format of the Coppa Italia itself. Between 1968 and 1971, the FIGC, that's the Italian Federation, done away with semi-finals. Instead we had secondary group stages. Of course there are 2 groups of 4. Now whoever would win those groups would then progress to the final. If I'm correct, I think we had it in the European Championships, possibly between 1988 and 1992. Also, the final used to be 2-legged. Now we would have both teams playing a home and an away leg, but that was scrapped after the 2007 and 2008 season. We now just have one final. It's played at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome, just like the FA Cup is played in the final at Wembley in England. In terms of success in the Coppa Italia, the most successful team, well, just like Serie A Scudettos, is Juventus. They have won the competition 12 times, second place is Roma with 9. In terms of final appearances, Juventus topped that yet again. This year against AC Milan it will be their 18th appearance in a final. Second in that is Roma yet again with 17 finals. AC Milan, who are the other finalists, they've won the competition 5 times. This will be their 14th final. Another Coppa Italia record that belongs to Juventus yet again are wins in succession. They've won this 3 times on the trot, that is a record. And it's all come recently within the previous 3 years. 2015, 2016 and 2017 seasons all won by the Bianconeri. Also a coach record is of course Massimo Allegri. He has won it every time he's been there, so he will break his own record should they defeat his old club AC Milan in the final of 4 in a row. Now, teams that win the Coppa Italia of course get European football. But we've seen it obviously when teams win the Serie A league. Now they get the Scudetto on their shirt the following season, the tricolour colours on their shirt jersey. When you win the Coppa Italia, you get what is known as the Coccardo winners patch, a circle of the Italian tricolour. Now we've got the Roma shirt here from the 1991-92 season. Of course, they won the Coppa Italia in 1991. If we zoom in there, you'll see the jersey. It is still in the tricolour of the Italian colours. Now, the last few seasons, Juventus on their jersey have had both the Scudetto and the Coppa Italia Coccardo patch. Should they beat AC Milan in the final, those two embroideries will be on next season's shirt yet again. So that was a bit of a history lesson and fact file on the competition that is the Coppa Italia. Now, on to tomorrow night's final between Juventus and AC Milan at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome. Now, the two teams, of course, have already played twice in the league, Juventus winning on both occasions at the San Siro and the Allianz Arena. Now, a lot of focus on this fixture was, of course, in the summer when Leonardo Bonucci, this man here, crossed the divide and joined AC Milan. Now, it's never been confirmed. I think it's the worst kept secret ever. There's a bit of a fracas between him and Andrea Barzagli in the Champions League final when they lost to Real Madrid last year in Cardiff 4-1 at half-time, which would probably explain Juventus' capitulation. He was suspended from the game at the San Siro, but he returned at the Allianz Arena Easter weekend when he actually scored to silence all the boo boys in the Juventus crowd, but it was the Bianconeri that won that game 3-1. Now, in terms of history, you couldn't have any bigger fixture than AC Milan versus Juventus. You know, Milan have won the Scudetto 18 times, Juventus have just won their 34th. AC Milan have won the Champions League or European Cup 7 times, Juventus only twice, having lost 7 finals. The Coppa Italia is one that Milan have never really... They've only won it 5 times. They've been in 14 finals. They've never really grasped it as much as Juventus have, that's for sure. They will want to break their dominance. Of course, being captained by Bonucci, he will have nothing more than to end that winning streak for Juventus and give Milan their first trophy since 2011. Now, my prediction, where do I think the game's going to go? Well, Juventus have got the league wrapped up. I still think, given Allegri, he will want to go out and make a statement. I don't expect him to rest key men. Against Bologna, yeah, they didn't play at the greatest, but he still got the job done, and Napoli then choked on the Sunday. Prediction-wise, I won't be surprised to see an upset, but I'm going to go for Juventus. I think they're going to win this 4 times on the trot. If they do, we mentioned at the start of the programme, Massimo Allegri, this could be his last season. I think if he wins this, and he's already won the league, it's probably the best way to sign off from Juventus in style if he is on his way to Arsenal. So thanks for watching this episode of Talk Calcio TV on a history on the Coppa Italia, as well as tomorrow night's final between Juventus and AC Milan. Now, give us your predictions ahead of the game. Tell us what you think. Like, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to Talk Calcio TV on YouTube. Also, check out the links below. Like us on Facebook, our work on Instagram, Twitter and Snapchat, all Talk Calcio TV and Italian football related. Also, if you want to know more on the history of the rivalry between AC Milan and Juventus, also click the link below. You'll see one of our previous videos that we've done back in Easter weekend before the two teams met there. So, we will speak to you Thursday, give our reaction to the final, and tell us what you think. Will it be Rossoneri or Bianconeri that gets their hands on the Coppa Italia? Speak to you soon. Arrivederci. Ciao.